If you're unfamiliar with what Job Corps does, Job Corps provides job training to individuals that may not have the opportunity to gain those skills in other ways. You can think of it as a trade school, if you will. It's mainly provided skills to individuals in the Black and brown community and provided them an entry into the work world. But we're starting to see Job Corps being rolled back because of low performance rates and graduation rates. And Trump flat out said it costs too much to run the program. Personally, I know individuals that have benefited from Job Corps training, and as a former trade school instructor, I do understand the value in getting people those skills that they need to be able to work and make an honest living in this world. But what I can't understand is this.
The Job Corps is closing here in the city of Albany, and that leaves us with a little over 500 students that were here on this campus, and 19% of those students are labeled as homeless. We have a little over 250 jobs that'll be leaving the city of Albany. And while this is not the city of Albany government's fault, this is a time for our local and state leadership to step up, because we'd be stupid to act powerless in this situation. Because while this school is still here, while this building is still here, while this campus is still here, what could this become? Could this become a Southwest Georgia regional hub for trade skills training? Could this become something major that the city brings on to start training workforce? Because if we're training workforce, then we can invite industry to come here. But if we don't have any workforce or industry, they'll never come. If Doherty County School System could train workforce in adults, why can't the city of Albany do the same thing? So my question to leadership is, are we going to allow this opportunity now to pass us by, or are we going to lead? Are our leaders going to lead? And if they don't want to lead, they need to step aside and let somebody else do it.
Terrence King Williams, you's a coon. And in the Black community, we need to take note of these individuals, because while this man got on this camera and made this big proclamation and video and tried to make it seem like, the city of Albany needs to take advantage of this opportunity, he failed to point out why the Job Corps program is being cut in his community. He failed to point out why his community is about to lose 250 jobs. He failed to point out why those 500 students got to figure out another way to try and get some job skills that they can use to monetize to make an honest and earnable living in this world. And that's because this.
And it was great to be surrounded by so many of my favorite people: Michaela Montgomery, David Harris Jr., Terrence K. Williams.
Yeah, so we as the Black community, we gotta be more careful with these individuals when they're coming out talking about they want to improve the community, because what we're starting to see is that Trump and the dominant society have handpicked individuals to put in front of us to try and mislead us, if you will. Because while he presented this as an opportunity for the Albany County, the whatever, to try and do something, he didn't point out that his boy Trump is the reason for all this mess. That's because he was at the White House shucking and driving just in February. Now, 4 months later, the Job Corps in his city is going bye-bye. So all that shucking and driving he did, all that positioning he did, where he thought he was getting in good with the people at the White House and he was going to be insulated and his community was going to be insulated, yield nothing. And that's what a lot of those Black people are starting to realize when they sell their soul to the other side. It's not about elevating your community. It's about elevating themselves personally. While he also did point out that elected leaders in his county need to kind of step up to the plate, I can't help but remember this guy said this.
I don't consider voting my particular fight. I do consider voting an asset to us and maybe something we can use as a tactic to help. But as far as us pushing voting all the way out, like voting is going to be some systemic change for the Black community, to me is not the way to go.
So if you feel as if voting is not a tactic that the Black community should use, why are you making this campaign style video trying to position yourself as the Black savior of Albany? Why are you trying to make it seem as if the Albany city government is failing the people? Why are you trying to make it seem like the county government in that community is failing them, when it was the federal government that you were supporting that is failing those people? It was the federal government that you went and shuck and jive for that is failing them people. It's things like this are happening in front of Black people, and we got to call this shit out for what it is. These motherfuckers are wolves in sheep clothing, and they got to be stopped, because he'll position himself as a Black savior, just like Dr. Umar. But like him and the rest of these Black conservatives lately, you ain't heard shit from them, because they're realizing they sold their soul for nothing. They sold their soul for no benefit. They're not gaining anything. Now in Albany, Georgia, they're about to experience 95 more homeless individuals, 250 jobs lost, 500 individuals that were trying to gain skills to earn a living in that community. Now those people are shit out of luck. And we got this motherfucker trying to position himself like he gonna be the savior. Bitch, please.